Fellow Democrats, brothers and sisters, I often try to provide a tempo counterpoint to these meetings, and in that vein, I'd like to today begin with a brief reflection on one of the defining struggles in American history, the fight for gender equality and women's right to vote that resulted in the United States Constitution's 19th Amendment, guaranteeing women a fundamental right. It was a century-long fight. Even our Declaration of Independence declared that all men are created equal. Those women who attended the first Women's Right Convention in 1848 were ridiculed for their radicalism, and the 70 years subsequent were marked by constant effort and struggle. 56 referenda campaigns directed at male voters, 480 campaigns to get state legislatures to submit the issue to voters, 47 efforts to write voting equality into state constitutions, 277 campaigns to get state political parties to adopt women suffrage planks, 30 campaigns to get national party platforms to reflect it, 19 efforts with 19 successive Congresses, and finally, at the urging of a Democratic President, Woodrow Wilson, Congress submitted the issue to the states. The heroic effort continued. There are a lot of wonderful stories, whether it's the representative from New York whose dying wife urged him to go vote. He did and returned home to her funeral. Or Mrs. Larch Miller in Oklahoma who left her sickbed to join the fight and died on the way home. Or the youngest member of the legislature in Tennessee, Representative Harry Byrne, who defied his speaker to cast the deciding ratification vote for suffrage upon the urging of his mother. Democrats have long been associated with this struggle, with the noble idea that everyone counts, that every voice matters, and today it informs our commitment to marriage equality. It informs our commitment to reproductive rights. It informs our commitment to health care for everyone. It informs our commitment to the unionist struggles in Wisconsin. Have you noticed that the workers denied collective bargaining rights there are principally in jobs that are mostly female employees? They didn't take the rights away from guys, but they did from the women. For those of us who work in the state capitol, we're tired of Republican bromides about equality of opportunity and liberty, slogans that hide a growing economic divide and an absence of restraint in the acquisition of property as the only thing they stand for. We're tired of hearing that we have a spending problem, not a revenue problem. Let me tell you what the facts are. When the great spender Ronald Reagan was governor of the state of California, our general fund spending was $6.02 for every $100 a person income. If Governor Jerry Brown and the legislature get what they're talking about in terms of tax extensions, instead of $6.02, spending will be $5.05. Jerry is doing a job that's tough, and maybe we should at least be able to commit to necessary human programs what Ronald Reagan was willing to spend on them decades ago. So, for my Republican friends in the legislature, I just want to say you represent many of the poorest areas in California. North States, Central Valley, Inland Empire. We redistribute wealth from the richest parts of California, mostly represented by Democrats, to those in need in your districts. It's time you did your job and help the poorest in your own communities. And if your district is 60% Latino and you represent white business elites and Tea Party activists, we're coming after you. And like the suffragettes, and Senator Feinstein earlier, who talked about long struggles, like the suffragettes who prevailed after a long struggle, we intend to continue to fight. Because we're fighting for our future. We're fighting for our kids. We're fighting to make sure the wealthy don't steal this great country. Democrats, let's go!